All right, folks, meteorologist Damon Matson back here again with meteorologist Scott Sumner. We have another tornado warning that was just put into effect across the DMV. This one is for Montgomery County, that same line of tornadic thunderstorms that were crossing parts of Loudoun and Fauquier counties. It now has produced a tornado warning there as it approaches the I-270 corridor. This storm right here is where that rotation is, this notch along the line here that just went through the Poolsville area, and it's racing off toward the north and east past Dawsonville, Lee's Corner, and then eventually this will make it toward Germantown along I-270. Here's one of those tracks for you with this tornadic storm. It's going to be racing over toward Green Valley within the next 5 to 6 minutes by 11:41. Damascus, it'll be making it up to you by 11:44 a.m. And then we're talking up toward Frederick and Carroll counties, Newmarket, Mount Airy by 11:47 and 11:50. And again, this tornado warning goes until 11:45 a.m. So we have another 10 minutes on this before it does move on. But here's that area of rotation, and we just got the latest scan, but we did see those greens and reds really coming together here as this thing continues to race off to the north and east. We're seeing gusts either way of 64 miles per hour embedded within this area of rotation. And again, this is going up toward Blocktown, North Germantown, and then eventually it's going to be crossing I-270 just south of Clarksburg. So this is a very busy area once again, and we're definitely keeping a very close eye because this thing, Scott, compared to the other tornado warnings we just had, this has a more well-defined area of rotation and a notch coming in with this one here too.
Yeah, absolutely, Damon. The notch that you're talking about is right in here, and the wind differential between winds away and toward the radar is almost 90 miles an hour. So no doubt there is something here. And
yep.
The base velocities I just showed, the darker the red, well, that's where you have, again, winds racing out from the system, 66 miles an hour here, over just to the north of it, 31 miles an hour, to the south of it, 80, how about this, 84 mile an hour winds possible with this racing out from the storm system. So, wow, that is and very intense, certainly a lot stronger than the ones that we just covered just a few minutes ago. We've got plenty of intense lightning across the area. And again, the hyperlocal, this is so key in this situation. Who's going to be impacted? Well, basically, if you're living around White Ground Road, Boyd's area, Cloppertown Road, Oak Ridge, Black Hill, take precaution immediately. This storm means business. And this is just the latest update. Now it is over White Ground Road. It's moving pretty quickly here. Let me pull it up. It's moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. And again, what we looked at, what David just mentioned just a few moments ago, is the fact that we are looking at this notch over by Blocktown.
Yeah.
And that is significant here.
If you get anything like that within a storm structure, it's usually trying to rotate. That's how you end up getting those notches within the actual storm itself. So this is where we're keeping an eye either way, like we just pointed out. I mean, we're getting 70+ mile per hour wind gusts embedded within this. So the main threat we're talking about here is obviously a tornado that could be spinning up at the moment, and that is concerning. 104 miles an hour with one of those pixels here on our velocity signature, and that's just outside of Black Hill. And again, this is racing up toward the I-270 corridor. So even if you are not within the actual tornado warning itself, you're talking about that threat of 70+ mile per hour winds from all the way up toward Clarksburg down toward Gaithersburg, which is just outside of that severe thunderstorm warning. But the main area of concern is right where that notch is, right near Blocktown and just outside of North Germantown. A lot of housing developments here right off of I-270 there in that part of Montgomery County. And again, this is tornado warned. It goes until 11:45, and there you see it. We got a strong area of rotation here just outside of Oak Ridge and Black Hill, and another that is over near Wilburn. Actually, that's just consolidated, Scott. It looks like right between Blocktown and Oak Ridge where we had that notch in the storm. That's where we could have a possible tornado on the ground at the moment.
Absolutely. It's tracked in 15 minutes, 15 miles.
Yeah.
It's traveling at a mile a minute, so that is very, very quick. A lot of times these thunderstorms could be moving a lot slower, maybe 15, 20, 25 miles an hour. But no, these are racing off to the north and northeast, anywhere from 50 to 60 to 70 miles an hour, having that outflow boundary from the storm also going at that speed. And that's why we saw possibly around 100 mile an hour wind gusts come from there.
Right.
I mean, you know, we're talking at that point in time, we're talking hurricane forced winds, category 1 level, easy, and up to 2 actually, low end 2. But needless to say, this is a serious situation here, so certainly stay with us. We'll get you through it as we always do. And again, this is the notch. It seems to have closed a little bit compared to where it was just a few minutes ago. Not surprising though, the ebbs and the flows of these type of storm systems, they occur all the time. On the north side of it here, you see intense blinding rain. Wherever there's purple, and that's real intense there.
That could be some hail mixing in there as well. But again, even if we do have a possible tornado, there's the hail on our tracker. So a little bit of that mixing in. But even if there is a tornado embedded within this, you're not going to be able to see it. And that is what is so concerning about the storms today. These are going to be moving in with such a quickness. You have very minimal time to be prepared. So hopefully you do have a plan in place.
Well,
but if not,
Damon, they've extended this.
Yes, they did. And it looks like we have this all the way out now. It looks like it's going past I-270, and this is now going to head out toward Damascus, like we were mentioning there, as you get off into northern Montgomery County, right along Route 108. So this is now an extended tornado warning. Scott, can you click on that? How long does this warning go?
That goes to the noon.
Okay.
And guys, if you can hear me in the background of the control room, if you can get a camera around Germantown on I-270, let's see if we can find, because that's intense rain happening right now.
Yeah, they're looking for it.
They're looking for it, exactly. So, but Clarksburg area, I know there is a camera down around Clarksburg. It may not be working because of the wind, but hopefully it will. And you can see here, Damon, who's going to be impacted. We got Stringtown and Chesney and places forward. Yeah,
some of these other roadways we're going to point out, because this storm right now is over the I-270 corridor just outside of Clarksburg, but this is going to be making its way over toward Cedar Grove Knolls. Kingsley, this is just starting to roll on top of you, but we're going to go a little down the line here. Banner Country, Ronelli Hills, and Chesney, this is going to be moving on top of you within the next 10 minutes. So this is your chance now. If you can hear my voice, you heard me shout out your location. Get to that basement. Get to that interior room of your home. This is not a storm to be messing with. Again, tornado warning is in effect, and that's the main threat here, but we're talking about 70+ mile-per-hour winds, hail, and also frequent lightning coming in with this storm as well. As Scott tries to put a little track here, again, there it is, Damascus. This is going to be rolling on top of you within 8 minutes by 11:50. So you have just a few more minutes to get to that interior room and get protected. Grab something to protect your head from flying debris if you possibly can. This is a nasty line of storms. Again, we have one tornado warning going on here in the heart of Montgomery County, but this line extends all the way northward up into Frederick County, Maryland at this point, and we are also keeping an eye to the south. This is still also extending down into Virginia at this point, so a nasty line of thunderstorms here, Scott. Lots of impact all around, and look, they extended that severe thunderstorm warning all the way up through Carroll County at this point for this line as well.
Yeah, this is intense here. The southern end of it, not as bad, although I got to tell you, I'm going to be watching this area right in through here. So we're looking at Prince William County, Stafford County. That's the next one that could potentially click off. But as far as what we have right now, again, as Damon just mentioned, we're talking about a tornado warning within a generalized severe thunderstorm warned area. And we're looking at around Cedar Heights and Damascus as being the main areas. Let's get a little closer in. Some highways and byways, some side roads here. If you're living over towards Davis Mill Road, take cover now. If you live over by King Valley Road, take cover now. Stringtown Road, this is all in the proximity. It will be on top of you any moment. Damascus Hill, Hickory Ridge, Banner County, Garfield Manor. These are all areas, and as we go a little further out in towards, was it highway there? Highway,
Route 108, yeah.
Road 108 there. You know, a lot of these are back roads too. There's plenty of farmland out in this area, Bootjack, but needless to say, there are farms out here, and there are plenty of homes and plenty of real estate. to speak of that will be impacted with this particular storm. And again, we've seen some hail with this, and we've seen very high winds. Damon?
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing this too. If it continues to hold together, it's going to eventually track up toward I-70 right between Mount Airy and Cooksville, the same areas that were hit just last week by one of those tornado-warned storms that we did have. And of course, there was a confirmed tornado out of that. So some areas that have just not been able to catch a break here within the last week. But yeah, we are continuing to watch. And Scott, I'm not sure if we can flip over to velocity. I just saw it very quickly. I was watching on my phone. We're not seeing it quite as well defined here on our map, but that area of rotation was just over Clarksburg, and it was moving off to the north and east, now straight toward Damascus. Not a lot of red trying to come together there, but this is where that possible tornado would be at. There it is, right there, in between Kingsley and Clarksburg. That's where we could have that possible tornado on the ground. Again, this is radar indicated. We do not have any sign that there is anything on the ground, but we're definitely watching that closely. And we have another camera that we're going to pull up for you here from I-270, and this is just off of Route 109. This is a little bit farther north anyway, that camera of the storm itself, but you can see the deteriorating conditions and how that rain is just coming down in blankets. People are having to take a little more caution, it looks like, on the roads, but still a lot of people having to be out and about during this severe activity. And hopefully, folks, maybe you're able to wrap up the day early, get home with all this severe weather, or just stay aware. If you do have to be traveling today, try to just know, hey, where are these storms at? Where are they going to be moving in next? Because you don't want to be caught out there in any of these storms. So again, that camera was from a little bit farther north up near Route 109 as you start to get toward the Frederick-Montgomery County line. But the tornado warning itself is down a little bit farther south through the heart of Montgomery County, now moving to north central Montgomery County, and this tornado warned storm is about to impact the Damascus area here as we move forward. Again, this tornado warning goes until noon, and we are going to be here with you until these tornado warnings drop. But that's the next area right there that we are paying close attention to. Scott, it looks like the latest scan came in. I'm not sure if we can see that velocity signature as much as we could there just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I did this on purpose. I slowed it down to the slowest speed it could possibly do, doing 1 minute increment lapse, time lapse, because I wanted to show you just 15 minutes ago. Let's start back here. There we go. So you see the notch and then how it fills in. There it is. Yep. It's filling in. Now there's still some indication that there is a notch there. I'll just stop it on the last scan, and the indication of the notch is right in here.
Yep.
But needless to say, it's kind of filled in. It's becoming more now of an actual line itself. So we've got this outflow boundary as it continues to progress off in this direction and spread itself out. And that's why the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect, extending way out, miles out.
We have a new tornado warning there, Scott. If you go a little farther north on the map, you'll see it up there. It's in Frederick County.
We got it. Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yep, Frederick County drifting into Carroll County. So now we got two.
We got two that both go to noon.
Yes, both go to noon. So we'll dive into this one. But here is that latest storm. Again, this is in parts of Frederick County. This is just outside of Frederick City proper. So here's Frederick, back off this way. But we're talking about this part of the storm just to the east now that is tornado warned on our map here. This tornado warning goes until noon. And if we can flip over to velocity, let's see if we can see where that possible rotation is. I'd say it's back here, possibly down toward Meadows, Alpine, just north of I-70 there, just outside of Newmarket as well. This area of rotation is just north of Newmarket, and it's going to be making its way, riding up toward the Route 26 corridor from Darby Lux to Bryson's Manor, back over to Bessel-Clemson Heights. And again, this tornado warning extends all the way up to New Windsor, which is where you start to get into Carroll County as well there in north central Maryland. So now we have two active tornado warnings. One of these these back up over Frederick and Carroll counties until noon, and the other is down to the south through the heart of Montgomery County. So now we have 2 active warnings in place across north central Maryland here, Scott. So there's that area of rotation like we were just talking about.
And guys, if we can pull up something on any camera on 70, maybe over by New Mountain area, I should say, or in that general area, possibly we can see some stuff. Yep, we'll see some stuff there. But again, you're right. It looks like there's a little bit of a hole. It's moving so quickly here, Damon.
Yeah.
That every time a new scan comes out, it's old information. But yeah, that seems to be the area right in through here. So if we are looking at this, as a matter of fact, let me check the National Weather Service.
Yeah,
and see what they say with that.
Go ahead and check that out. I'm also going to point something out here. This tornado warning, on the other one, we have that notch, if you will, on the front end of the storm. So you're not getting that intense, just blinding rainfall before that possible area of rotation moves into your area. But on this tornado warning, it looks like that area of rotation is on the back side of this. So that's just how intense and sort of unique these storms are. They're producing tornadoes at various points within the thunderstorm line. So you're going to get a blinding batch of rain, and then that area of rotation is going to come in, making that all the more dangerous for folks that are out there. You may just think you're in an intense thunderstorm, and then all of a sudden you get that tornado on the backside, which is why we are trying to give as much warning as possible with how rapidly these are moving. So there is that southern warning. They definitely trimmed that back, but the heart of that warning is still right over the Damascus area in north central Montgomery County until noon. And then we have this secondary warning that also goes until noon for Frederick and Carroll counties. And again, this batch of rotation down near Damascus, it's going to be moving north and east just like this one. And here's the track on that northern tornado warning. The Woodsboro area, you just had damage from straight line winds just last week. It's going to be on top of you. It actually is right now as we speak. As of noon, you're getting that intense rainfall, but the rotation is a little farther to the south. Then this will be moving up toward New Windsor, Taneytown by 12:11, Westminster by 12:14. Scott, do you have something from the chat?
Yeah, the National Weather Service is going to continue the southern tornado, the one in Montgomery County, in effect till noon. So they just said that just 2 minutes ago. They're going to keep that in effect till noon.
Yep.
And then one off to the north of that, the one that you've just been talking about, they said just a few moments ago was by Linganore and the Bartonsville area. Radar indicated, as we've been talking about, and it will be moving towards Linwood, Union Bridge, Keimer, Libertytown, and Unionville.
Okay, that sounds good. And yeah, up here, as you start to get out of Frederick County into Carroll County, you're into a lot of open farmland there, hilly as well, but you're going to see a lot of these areas. They're a little more rural, but you have these towns mixed in, like we just mentioned, Westminster, Taneytown, and then eventually this does move into Pennsylvania, just south of York. Once this line does make it that far north, we're good here in the DMV in this part of north central Maryland. But again, we have this area of concern where that notch is just down off to the east of Walkersville at this point, moving through the Woodsboro area, and this is making a beeline towards New Windsor and Westminster, and the northern part of this line as well will impact the Taneytown area. So there are the times, again, if we've shouted out anywhere that you live and you heard your town's name on air here, you want to be seeking shelter, like we keep on mentioning. A basement's the best place, but interior room as well.
Damon, they've killed the tornado warning for west central Montgomery and eastern Loudoun has expired. They killed it.
Good. Okay. So
that's good.
We're good to the south. Now we just have this one warning. And Scott, if we can, real quick, let's zoom back out for a quick minute here. Again, we're watching this one warning in now north central Maryland. This tornado warning has been allowed to, it's been canceled in north central Montgomery. So you're in the clear back over toward the Cooksville area from a tornado warning, but there's still about to be this intense line of thunderstorms that bring damaging wind gusts, small hail, and frequent lightning along the I-70 corridor there. So you still want to be taking heed as you're in northern Howard County. But then if we look off to the south, this line is a little bit more broken, but we are still experiencing some intense thunderstorms through the southern half of Montgomery County, back down into Fairfax County, DC as well. Again, going to see some thunderstorm activity, but it does not look like it's going to be as intense as what we're currently dealing with up to the north.
And I want to clarify, since Montgomery County is so large, so vast. It's the southern end of Montgomery County that's been dropped. The northern end, this does. This
that's
part
still
does.
good.
That's still. It wasn't necessarily clarified, but now it seems to. They came out with another statement. The northern end of it is still in effect till noon, so that's another 6 minutes. The southern end going in towards Loudoun County, the southern portion of that has been dropped.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So they trimmed it out of that, yeah, more south and west portion of the county. We still do have that warning then in north central for another 5 minutes at least. So again, we're still watching that. This whole section of the line here is what has been producing over the last 2 hours, Scott. It's been producing these spin ups within the line, and that was one of our big concerns coming into the day here. And what do you got, Scott?
They said the warning will continue for north central Montgomery with velocity couplet still evident, but kind of cycling down.
Okay.
So that's good news there.
Okay.
And they said it had about, 66 knots, so that puts it at over 70 miles an hour.
That's and that's what we've been saying too. Even if we don't have these tornado warnings continued, this line of thunderstorms in and of itself could cause just as much, if not more, damage than a weak tornado, because you're talking about hurricane force wind gusts. That's going to be easily enough to knock down lots of trees, lots of power lines, and cause those big time issues. But this is concerning. We don't like to see this, as we have a pretty defined couplet now at this point. Looks like that is just off of Route 26 here, just north into Bessie, Clemson Heights, and Oldfield. So this is that area of rotation. And look at that. The next scan already carries it north of Oldfield at this point. And it looks like it's tracking now. We're going to shout out a few spots here. We got Clemsonville, we got McKinstry's Mill, we have Edgewood, Anglers Mill, Walnut Hill, and then this is a highly populated area, at least in Carroll County, New Windsor. This is going to be tracking right into the New Windsor area within the next 5 minutes. So again, take shelter now if you're in the New Windsor area. We don't have a confirmed tornado, but at least compared to what we've seen throughout the morning here, this area of rotation got a little more strength to it, and look at that. There it is, trying to pick up right there in between Clemsonville and Oldfield, Scott. That's a lot of intense wind right there.
Yeah, 65 to 74 mile an hour. So right on par with what we just said here with the Weather Service was talking about how strong those winds are. Rushing out from the center of the storm here as it continues to move off to the north. Weak shear, but shear nonetheless out there, as I just indicated.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of lightning strikes surrounding it, and I'm sure we have, if I switch over to the hydro area here, the heavy rain, what we have here, or precip rate actually, you can see here, I mean, if this was stationary, thankfully it isn't, it'd be about 4 inches an hour, 2 inches an hour. So yeah, this is so you got the intense rain, you've got the exceptionally gusty winds. This is all part of the plan here. For the rest of the afternoon, we're gonna have to be dealing with this type of stuff.
Correct. And so, yeah, this is the one batch of thunderstorms that we continue to see tornado warnings come out of. I'm curious, because this a southern warning at least is going to be continuing here until noon, but we'll see if they extend that. We have a new camera, it looks like, on I-70 West near Monrovia, so we're going to pull that up here in a few minutes. There it is. And again, we are not seeing any stop traffic at the moment, but things very much slowed down with that heavy rainfall. And again, the hope here is, hopefully, folks, you can be indoors as the worst of this rolls through. But if not, and you do have to be one of those folks venturing out as the afternoon rolls on, just want to stay weather aware, stay up to date with the latest on where these storms are at, because this right here that we're dealing with right now, this is the first batch. We're going to be seeing a second wave, more of a squall line, if you will, as we go into the late afternoon, early evening. That's going to produce very strong wind gusts and potentially embedded tornadoes as well. So we are not going to be done after this, folks. We have a lot more coming our way. Look at how expansive this storm system is. And again, we have one batch of storms rolling through. We got to keep an eye on the storms to our south, but Scott's drawing it right here. That's where the cold front is. That's going to eventually eventually sweep through and bring that next line of intense thunderstorms. So again, we are continuing to stay on the air thanks to this one tornado warning that's still in effect until noon. We are going to keep an eye to see if they extended the southern warning as well out of Montgomery County. But regardless, this is a nasty line of thunderstorms here that's producing not just that threat of tornadoes, but damaging winds, hail, frequent lightning, and blinding rainfall. So yeah, we have the track on it here. Again, this is where that possible area of rotation is at this point. We have Taneytown, New Windsor, Mount Pleasant right now going to see that impact. And here we go. New Windsor, this is basically on top of you at the moment, but the area of rotation is going to be coming in within the next 5 minutes by 12:04. Then we're talking about this moving just past Westminster by 12:11, and then Mount Pleasant, as you start to get into the northern extent of Carroll County, that's going to be rolling through by the time we get to 12:22. So again, rapidly moving. This is going to be intense. And again, Scott, we have this tornado warning that goes for another minute or so. We'll see if they extend this here potentially.
I think they probably will. I would think that they will continue it through Carroll County and then into Pennsylvania at that point in time. So we're at 11:59. Once noon hits here, coming up in 10 seconds, this warning down here should expire at that point in time. But, you know, don't let down your guard by any. Oh, there you go, because now they've just extended it here, Damon. They have moved. They have just moved it in here, and you're watching DC News Now at noon as we have a continuing coverage of tornado warnings here. I'm going to get that information for you, but we have a new extension of the tornado warning here down in Montgomery County.
Yep, and yeah, we've carried this over now. Yeah, we are into the news at noon, and this has been continued tornado coverage here for you folks. We were expecting a severe weather day across the region, and so far it has certainly produced that. We're now tracking a few different tornado warnings across the area. This is the latest one that was just put out, and this is an extension of that thunderstorm line that again was making its way through Montgomery County at this point, and now we're seeing this continue through the northwestern section of Howard County, which is where we have this area of rotation right now. This is just to the east of Mount Airy, and it's just to the west of Cooksville, heading toward Woodbine, and this is going to cross I-270 and then eventually make its way up toward the Route 26 corridor between Eldersburg, White Rock, Barrett, and Arthur Ridge. So if you just heard me shout out these locations, you live there or you know somebody that lives there, tell them to take shelter immediately. Again, we have this tornado warned part of the thunderstorm line that goes until 12:15 p.m. So the National Weather Service saw fit to extend this thanks to the fact that area of rotation, while it may have been weakening, it's not totally gone. So we need to take caution, and regardless, this line of storms is producing some very nasty winds. So there you go. We have another track on for you here. Again, that area of rotation will be in Woodbine within the next 3 minutes, 12:04. So you only have another couple of minutes to take shelter there. And then you're talking about this moving on toward the Sykesville and Elderberg areas by about 12:15 over the next 15 minutes or so. So that is the one tornado warning that was just extended. And Scott, I don't think they have another warning to the north as well.
Yeah, this is just got it through 12:15. That's this one here.
Yep.
So we've got two at 12:15, ready to expire in 13 minutes. Let's see here. The information on this one said moving to the northeast at 35, same as the one to the south.
Okay.
They are mentioning that with this, it'd be near Westminster around 12:05 in 3 minutes. I know that area pretty well. I have played at a golf course up in that area, and it's beautiful country, but very busy right in Westminster.
Right, and can we turn on the velocity signature?
Yes, we
I
can.
think we might have, we might have a little bit of a decent view right in the New Windsor area. Unfortunately, this is where that rotation is at, and like you mentioned, Scott, very beautiful up in this part of Maryland. and a lot of rural area, but New Windsor is one of those main population centers, and this is going to be a close call. It looks like that possible area of rotation will be just outside of New Windsor proper here, so we're going to have to pay attention to that. Either way, it's going to be moving up closer to Windsor View, Linwood perhaps as well. We're not seeing or hearing about an actual tornado on the ground, but there's enough evidence here that there could possibly be at least a spin-up tornado happening within this part of the line. So again, that tornado warning was extended in Carroll County until 12:30. I think it was 12:30, right, Scott? 12:15?
No, 12:15.
12:15, that's right.
12:15.
Okay.
The one tornado warning to the north doesn't have any hail associated with it. The one to the south does have a little history of hail associated with that. So we've got two within a proximity here, let's see, of 8 miles difference between the two warned areas. So we've got two kind of simultaneously moving. This is what we talked about, and I talked about over the weekend too. When you have a full line, as I widen out the view, you can see a very distinct line of thunderstorms here. So you've got two things happening with this line. You've got the bowing out, so that's helping to enhance and intensify those winds coming out of the storm.
Right.
But then right along it, you do have a couple of those individual cells. Very fast moving, and of course you want to hunker down, take shelter now. The latest one from the northern one that going into Carroll County, also impacting northwestern Howard County till 12:15. That is certainly going to be near Skykesville here at 12:05, so just in a minute or so.
Yeah, so both of these warnings basically are now pushing into Carroll County. So you have north central Carroll County up near Westminster and Tawnytown, and then down toward the Eldersburg area in the southern part of the county there is where we have this second tornado warning. So again, this is the main batch of storms that we have been watching over the last couple of hours. They have continued to produce areas of rotation. So there's the latest track. Again, as you get over toward at least the Sykesville and the Eldersburg area, you're talking about this rolling into your neck of the woods here, I'd say within the next 10 to 15 minutes, because look at that, the line is set up right over Lisbon and Woodbine, but the area of rotation is back a little bit behind that, at least at last check. That's what we were able to see. And then you see the intense rainfall that's happening too. That's one of the main threats coming in with this as well. So we got damaging winds. We have that possibility of tornadoes within all of this. And this is again impacting that part of Carroll County, which that is intense right there, Scott. You're talking about hurricane force, 74 miles an hour with some of those extreme gusts that are now coming through. As you mentioned, this is bowing out, so it's gaining strength as it continues to work off to the north and the east here.
So unfortunately, yeah, you'll see occasionally, I'll highlight them here, little notches.
Right there.
There's one there. There's one there, and if you're going to have any sort of rotation, it's right there. Changing winds with height from surface aloft is going to do it, coming in at different angles. You've got winds coming out of the southwest and south at the surface, and as you go up in height, you start to see the turning of that. So it takes a horizontal wind flow and then turn it to make it vertical, and so thereby these are what you see and what you're getting as these storms start to develop, and properly so. I mean, notice where they are in relationship, and it looks like we've got another warning coming out here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see it on the map yet. I was gonna make one note while you look at that, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the kind of tornadoes where they're not the ones you see out in the Midwest, right? Where they're clear, they're easy to see from off in the distance, and they're long-lived. These are going to be short-lived tornadoes if they do happen, and they will just quickly touch down, cause that damage to wherever they touch down, and then they move on or lift immediately. But you're still dealing with at least these storms that are producing very strong winds outside of any tornadoes. So the damage is going to be done. You want to be taking shelter no matter what here as we move forward and these storms pass through. But there's a closer view of the Westminster area. This thing has just bowed out through the Westminster area right along Route 140. This is now going to head toward Route 30 up toward Manchester and Hampstead. So now we're starting to drift into the very northern portion of Carroll County up closer to the Pennsylvania-Maryland line. line, but we do have at least these 2 tornado warnings still ongoing. Scott, I'm not seeing anything. I don't know if the chat has said anything different in terms of if another warning is going to be issued here.
Well, I'm going to look at that, but I also want to tell you that I said about 20 minutes ago, watch out for the southern extent of this
here we
line.
go.
And this is what just came out. Severe thunderstorm warning. That's down towards Spotsylvania County here. That will be moving. That's till 12:45. That will be moving further to the north. So we'll have to watch the southern end of this. But right now we're concerned about the northern end. Most of it, if not all of it, is in Carroll County at this point in time.
Yeah.
And as far as what the Weather Service is saying, have they mentioned anything new with that?
I will say, too, as far as I took a quick peek myself here. Yeah, we have the 2 tornado warnings up in Carroll County. We have that severe thunderstorm warning south of D.C. But just a shout out here real quick, D.C. proper, there is a thin line of intense rainfall that is working across the heart of Fairfax County, right through Fairfax City. As a matter of fact, it does not have a warning on it, but within about the next 15 to 20 minutes, you're going to see a very heavy downpour with some lightning possibly embedded in there, but there is no active warning with that part of the line as it sweeps into the D.C. metro area. So again, the worst of this activity is up over north central Maryland, where we have these 2 active tornado warnings. They go until 12:15. So we'll see if the National Weather Service extends these out. But either way, this part of the line will be moving into Pennsylvania here very quickly. And then we have that southern part of the line. No tornado warnings, but a severe thunderstorm warning moving toward the I-95 corridor as well. Scott, what do you got?
Right. I just want to add to the fact that that severe thunderstorm warning that I showed down towards the Culpeper, Fauquier, Orange, Prince William, Spotsylvania, Stafford area, they say tornado possible. So
okay,
we have to keep an eye on that.
Right.
We'll have to see if they add to the severe thunderstorm warning, make it a tornado warning down there. But right now, no, it's just a severe thunderstorm warning.
Got it. Okay, so that is what we're going to be paying attention to down to the south. But again, I think our most immediate concern, and that's why we're staying on this, we have our 2 active warnings right next to each other when it comes to the tornado threat, and that is up over now southern Carroll and north central Carroll counties. Here's that latest velocity scan. I'm not quite seeing anything as well defined here, Scott, especially within the warning itself. We did have that down to the south and west near Mount Airy for a brief moment, but it looks like this is moving on, and we're not, I don't know if you can see anything either, Scott.
I'm looking at it. This is a 15-minute scan at the slowest speed over a 1-minute time elapse to really see if I pick up any. Now, this is what you said just a few minutes ago, where they almost skip. These, I mean,
yeah,
people see and have seen and heard of tornadoes skipping along. This is one of those situations where that's the case. I mean, look at up to the north, though. You see, this is more of what we think about when we think about the tornadoes, the couplet and the red and the green, which is the red color is red color. To give you an idea, the legend says the winds are moving away from the radar toward the radar if they're green. So you get that twisting in the atmosphere. We're not really seeing it within the tornado warning watch warning area here. And
yeah,
again, this is one of those weak spin-up tornadoes, probably EF0 type of situation.
Right.
I'm seeing a little bit of rotation, or did see it around New Windsor. This is the northern one.
But now that's also falling apart, it looks like. So
that is. I'm just gonna stop it right there. I mean, if any place has it, it would be over towards the Catoctin View region.
Right in here, yeah, and that's right. That lines up too with our reflectivity, because here you see it, almost that comma-like shape going on. So this is where you have that notch that could potentially have that embedded tornado within it. So again, this is now starting to exit that warning area as well here, folks. So we usually have these warnings issued with these storms moving as quickly as they are. There is that likelihood that they outrace some of these tornado warnings. But again, this is the front side of that line. We're now starting to see this exit our viewing area, but nonetheless, this is what is rolling through out ahead of any possible tornado. We're talking about wind gusts 70, even close to 80 miles per hour along this extremely intense line of activity. But that is now starting to at least head out toward the very edge of Carroll County, the northern part of that line, Scott. So we're almost through with this storm, back toward Taneytown, back down into parts of Frederick County as well. well. You're in the clear at this point. Just some rain coming down, but either way, this still came through with a vengeance. We have a camera here, mostly shooting from Mount Airy on the backside of this storm, I-70 east. So you're going to be looking a little bit back toward the storm there. You can see the dark clouds off in the distance, but it looks like folks are getting by in Mount Airy at this point now that the storm has come through. But my goodness, a lot of water on the roadways. So there's still going to be that impact, especially with more storms coming in later this afternoon, that those roadways are going to be tricky to navigate. But sorry, go ahead, Scott.
Damon, I just want, I hate to cut it off, but the Weather Service said they're looking to expire both tornado warnings here at 12:15.
Good. Okay. Okay. That would put us in the clear then. We don't have any other active warnings aside from that, which would be good news. We still got to keep an eye on the rest of the line to the south, but either way, that is some good news because, yeah, this is what we were a bit concerned about, Scott, the spin-ups right before we get to the main line, which happens later in the day.
Yeah.
And there is that southern line. So again, we're keeping an eye on those tornado warnings. But as we take a look to the south, this is still a very intense band of rainfall that is making its way basically through Fauquier and back over into parts of Prince William County now. Very intense winds right along this thin band of thunderstorm activity from Flat Run to Richardsville, back up toward the Gold Vein area along Route 17. Not quite as intense as the line that's farther north, but still, you're talking 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and that is nasty. And unfortunately, this is bowing out as well. So I would not be surprised if this gets extended here. We may see a severe thunderstorm go all the way out toward Dale City, Woodbridge, Dumfries, and then down toward the Fredericksburg area. But here is that main little batch I was talking about. Again, a little bit of a heavier downpour stretching from the ICC in Maryland back over into just outside of Fairfax, mostly near Tyson's Corner at this point. But it's only about 5 to 6 miles outside of the district, so we'll be seeing a pretty intense band of rainfall, some lightning and thunder coming into the district, but thankfully no warnings attached to that. And Scott, it looks like that one warning, this storm is completely clear at this point.
Yeah, and that's why they're letting them, I think, both go at this point in time. This one's still holding on to some intense rain, also plenty of lightning here. Let's see if we have and the tracker here, yeah. So Reisterstown 1243, Holbrook at 1238. It's moving to the east-northeast at 31 miles an hour. So it's a low-top thunderstorm that's moving through the region. And you know, this is the type of weather scenario that's going to be unfolding throughout the day today. And we've been very helped out here greatly with our control room giving us traffic cameras to give us a verification of what's happening live outside there. And there we go. We have now dropped out, and we are good with warnings. No tornado warnings at this point in time, Damon.
Okay, so they did cancel, or they allowed those to expire. So yeah, we were just on here on and off for the last 2 hours. Multiple tornado warnings coming along with this line. And before we go and toss it back, I believe we're going back to regularly scheduled programming. Let me know that in my ear, folks, for the news at noon. But we will be doing that. So we'll give one last quick recap here briefly before we get off and send it back to the regularly scheduled programming. But we've had multiple tornado warnings issued by the National Weather Service with this line of thunderstorms. That has now come to an end, at least the tornado warnings have, and we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings with the northern batch of this line off into north central Maryland, and we do have another severe thunderstorm warning exiting Culpeper and Fauquier counties, drifting towards Stafford, Prince William counties along I-95 in Virginia. We'll watch that closely over the next hour or so, but this is the first wave. We are expecting a squall line of very intense storms later this afternoon and evening that will be coming in with the actual cold front. Look at this massive storm system. There is a long way to go, folks, before we are free and clear. And by the way, at the end of this thing, after we get rid of the severe threat today, look what's on the backside. Yes, we're talking about the return of some very winter-like temperatures. We may get snow in some of our mountain counties. The rest of us won't likely see that, but again, this is going to be another wild weather day. So stick with us. We no longer have any active tornado warnings. We're going to send it back to the news at noon here in just a few minutes, but we'll continue to be here tracking the latest, and we'll be back if there are any other additional tornado warnings issued throughout the day.